ever think what adding an extra 40 pounds of muscle and an extra 170 pounds to your squat PR would do for your chances of playing college baseball? Well, that's exactly what happened with Carson. And over the past 6 months, he's been able to refine his outlook on the game, become an even better athlete. Now, let's dive into exactly how he was able to do this.
But I do know before I started working out, I was about 120, 115, about 160 now. I trusted it and it worked. If you want to go get it, it's not going to come to you.
You find on social media. But then I thought, okay, it wouldn't hurt to just sit in a call with you and just hear what this program was all about.
8th grade, end of 8th grade, beginning of 9th grade around there, I walked the plate. And now I am, I'm almost 3 plates on squat.
Almost probably close to 300 then?
Yeah, but if you want to be serious about it and you want to get better and go D1, join it.
Here we have Carson. Carson, feel free to introduce yourself.
I'm Carson, class of 2027. I play center field, and yeah.
Where are you from, Carson?
I'm from Gillette, Wyoming.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then as far as before joining into my program, how was baseball like for you?
Honestly, before I joined, I was more of the smaller side. I was one of the small kids that could barely get out of the infield. Wasn't really making the big plays. Really wasn't. I was just kind of there. I would hit or I'd make a good play every once in a while, and I was tired of that.
Got it. And mentally, like, where were you at?
Mentally, before I joined your program, I was giving up hope. I wanted to quit baseball because it hurt so much because I couldn't do anything. But then I was scrolled across one of your videos, and I was like, I don't think this is a scam. I'll give it a try. And I checked. It's been it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And as far as, like, do you know any of your metrics before joining in?
Oof. I can't really remember. But I do know that before I joined and before, I started working out, I was about 120, 115. I'm about 160 now.
Wow. That's insane, dude. That's awesome. You've been eating well, working out well. That's all exciting. Go back a little bit as far as, like, how you discovered me. You were just scrolling one day and started looking a little bit more into it?
Oh, I was on Instagram, and I was scrolling, and I kept seeing you, and I was like, And then out of nowhere, I was like, I'll watch this. I want to see if it's real or not. And I watched the whole thing. I texted you, and I was like, hey, I'd really want to start getting good at baseball. I want to give it another try. I want to keep going. I don't want to quit. And you instantly texted me back, and you said, let's get it started. This is the time we'll talk. And it's been basically history ever since that time.
40 pounds later, dude. That's insane. That's awesome gains. And then as far as before joining in, I guess, like, what were areas, I know that you mentioned, like, maybe this doesn't sound like a scam, but, like, were there any areas where you felt like, maybe concerned about my program?
Only really at the very beginning, I was like, oh, I could be getting scammed here. I don't know if this is going to work, but I was like, because I wasn't seeing any progress at first, I'll just trust the process, and I trusted it, and it worked.
How long did it take? Like, obviously results don't happen instantly, so, like, was this a few weeks, maybe a couple months, which is totally normal?
So it was right after that season. I started working out all through the season, and then I was working out, and then football hit, and then I didn't play basketball. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to set my mind on this, and I'm going to go for it. And I started eating a lot. I started because we have a facility. I started going to the facility. I started working out, and I just really started to focus on how can I make myself better in a way. And I'm throwing the ball a lot harder. I'm hitting a lot harder, and it's really nice.
Dude, that's exciting to hear. Lexi, I know you're around the corner. I guess talk to me about your experience as far as, I believe it was, Carson probably sharing, like, a video over with you. I guess, what was that experience like? Did you find me first, or did Carson find me? And then, I guess, like, what actually made you guys take that next step?
Carson found you, and he showed me a video, and I did the same thing as him, because you have to be so careful now, just with different things that you you find on
Mhm.
social media. But then I thought, okay, it wouldn't hurt to just sit in a call with you and just hear what this program was all about. And so after we talked with you and stuff, I thought this will be really good. I think for me with him, the hardest thing to watch was just his, like, maybe his mental state and being ready, because he would just get quick to anger. And I think over time we've watched that decrease, and when he's just setting goals like for himself, it seemed to help with that.
Real quick, if you want similar results just like Carson, go down below in the description to book a call with him.
That's awesome. And then from your perspective, Carson as a person, his habits, his work ethic, were you able to see a shift in him?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been a kid that's gonna try to do more than the next person, I guess. He's always had that kind of mindset where he's always said, like, if I'm not practicing, someone else is, and they're getting better than me. And so he's had that drive in himself. But as far as his, like, weight gain and his strength and stuff like that, I definitely saw a switch in that. And he really took the initiative to get stronger and faster and working better on his meal plans and things.
Carson, like, what's baseball like now? Obviously, you're 40 pounds heavier, which is a huge goal with a lot of high school baseball players, but your overall approach to the game, talk to me through that.
I feel like, because before I wasn't really confident when I got up to the plate. Ball came my way. Oh, I got to stay back, let the other person get it. But then once I started getting stronger, I got more wise in a sense too. And I was like, okay, I'm confident. I can do this. I have this. This is easy for me now. I became more of a game than a chore. Because you like a chore almost, and then it turned into a game that was fun, and I really enjoyed it.
That's really exciting to hear, because I think we all play this game and maybe we have a rut for maybe a year, maybe a couple months where it doesn't necessarily feel super fun, but we always have to remind ourselves it is a game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you feel like you're throwing harder. Do you have any metrics on specifically how much harder you're throwing?
Not at the moment, because I've been just grinding in the workout room. But when I went in and I threw a little bit, I could tell that I was pumping it.
That's
a lot
good.
harder.
As far as any gym workouts, can you tell me, like, before joining in, maybe like a squat metric or how much you were able to squat or deadlift? Any improvements there?
So before, which this is around eighth grade, end of eighth grade, beginning of ninth grade, around there, I bought a plate or a 35 to start.
Yeah.
And now I am, what is it? I'm almost 3 plates on squat.
Almost probably close to 300 then?
Yeah, closer.
At least 225.
Yeah, well,
225 is just 2 plates, so you went from 135, which is 1 plate, to almost 300 pounds. That's insane, dude. Over a span of 6 months. That's awesome, dude. And was that more or less just the consistency of the workout programs?
yeah, it was a lot of that, and honestly, it was just taking the initiative to be like, okay, if I want it bad enough, I gotta do it, and you gotta stay locked in. If you want it, go get it. It's not gonna come to you.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Who's my academy for, in your eyes?
For your academy, I feel like, because the video you had up, it was like you weren't the best when you were little, and then you went up, and then you made it to the league. And honestly, I feel like it's for the kids that really want this for their life. They really enjoy what they do, and they want to get better every day. That's what I feel like it's for. And if you don't want to take it serious, you just want to play it through high school, don't join the program. But if you want to be serious about it, and you want to get better and go D1, join it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, Carson. Lexi, I appreciate it as well. And do you guys have any last words for anyone maybe on the fence on joining into the academy?
if you're serious about baseball, I would do it.
Mhm.
I would definitely do it if you're serious about baseball.
Mhm.